session number 210, and the topic of today is power of gap awareness. We'll start with the natural principles of growth in life. So first we have to understand the nature. What is in the nature? The growth of life happens. If all life, this happens, and to be part of the nature, we'll go to the growth pattern we can see in our lifetime, we can see in front of us. So we'll take the example of the trees. So example of the trees, we find that in the forest, the millions of trees, they grow, and not in forest, anywhere, in any land, any park, any area, or any cultivated land. So this is the natural way of growing of the thing is, you will see that millions of trees are growing in the forest or any land, and they don't compete with each other. Like everyone, they grow independently. They take the resources from the ground, the sap or the water they need, the sunlight also, whatever they comes, they need it and then grow. So you will never see that the two trees are competing with each other, fighting with each other. One tree was bogged down and the other has grown. This fighting business, it is coming only for the human being. Because from the childhood onwards, we have been like, it is a conditioning, our social conditioning or childhood conditioning, that we have to compete and come out as a winner. It started back in when we are a small child. To get admission in a particular school, you have to compete. There are a lot of candidates, seats are limited. Maybe there are 400 candidates, only 50 seats. So the people is to compete. Then each and every, when we grow in the classes, then also they have to compete, and our parents are saying you have to come first, second, third, or something in the higher marks in the classes. Then the board exam, you have to be in the first division, first class, or whatever the top ranking, so that we can get admission to the better colleges. And the colleges also having admission test. So you have to rank certain, because there may be the 1 lakh candidate, but total seats are maybe 10,000 all over the state or the colleges. So we have to get into that first 10,000, a thing like that. So it is all about we are conditioned with the competition, and we have been learned the theory of survival of the fittest. And because of that, we are competing. We are competing and trying to be get whatever to lead our life, the living. The thing is, the truth of the nature is not like that. Truth is, whatever all the life, they will have whatever resources they need. It is all available into this world. We need not to compete in that sense. We have to grow on our own independently, uniquely. All of us are unique. Just like I give an example of forest, in the natural scenario, so there is no competition. Even it is a complementary. Like if there is in a big tree, under its shade, the small trees can come and they can grow, so that they cannot face the direct sunlight, they can get dried up and things like that. And also big trees, they have a deep rooted, roots go much deeper. They can bring the water table up, so that at least on the surface, the other bushes and grasses and all these things, they can also have some water nearby, so that they can absorb like that. So these are the complementary things of existence. But we human, because of our own intelligence, basically we governed by our own ego, we are in the state of something called the poverty consciousness. Like we believe that resources in this world is limited. So we have to compete to get the maximum bigger pie or the bigger portion of my cake out of the available cake, like it is limited. This is fundamentally not what the universe is has given to us. It is universe. It is basically unlimited. It is, we have to just tap into it, tune into it. It will not be over, like it will not be exhausted or finished. That is our mindset. It is creating the fear that it will be over, I will not get whatever I want, and how can I survive, and these things. These are all thoughts. Actual, in the nature, it is not like that. It is, as I am saying, that everything is abundant. Human being the created problem. The food problem, if you see in the world, that is because of the distribution issues, not the total quantity of food and total population available. So if you see, go deep into it, you will find there are many places the foods are stored and it is being rotten. But there are other parts of the world there the people are hungry and are getting it, or either the food is not there or they don't have money to buy the food, and that is the reason. It is not the absence of food. It is there. It is the distribution what makes it difficult. Even the water resources now, because it is human are controlling, it is polluted, and also scarcity and all those things you are facing. So anywhere our the mind has been get into, they spoil the natural things. We have the pollution, air pollution, the soil become infertile, and all those kind of things. Whichever you see, whichever is not yet human beings are not being able to control, and those are available in abundance. So as for example, so the air we breathe, even though it is polluted, but availability wise, it is there, abundant. Anybody can breathe. लोगों का बस चले उसके ऊपर भी कुछ rationing लगा दे, tax लगा दे, but at least for now it is available in abundance. Air, sunlight also abundant. Anybody can go and get into the sunlight and to see nourish themselves, or the light or energy, whatever is coming. It is still not fully under control of the humanity. That's why it is saved. So basically my point is that in the nature it is always abundant. Abundance is there. It is available. Only the human systems makes it difficult to access. The idea of this competition and winning and all those kind of things so drained that we forget that it is available in abundance, and by sharing it, everybody can get it. It is the sharing, that distribution, that makes the thing. And people who come into the controlling position, they become greedy. So they want to accumulate as much as possible. Again, the poverty consciousness. The abundance consciousness that we are going to happen, that will go there, and we will be just tuned into that vibration of abundance. Like to live, we have to breathe in. That's it. Just tune into the air, tune into the sunlight, and that's it. Yeah. So you need not to struggle for it. The struggling part of it is our human psyche. It has been drilled into things that just as to get into the admission into the school, that the first time you have to compete and fight and think to secure your seat. So from that childhood, it is ingrained into us. Anyway, so this is the background. So in nature, wherever you see, you will not see that it is always the things have been given, initially by the nature. I have given the example of the trees in a forest. Why I am giving example in the trees? Because many people say, it is not possible because so much of population, so competition is natural. Yeah? To some extent, it is true. But when you are born, we born with all potentials and availability, you need to find it out. It is not a matter of, nobody will give it in front of you on the platter. That's true. Yeah, you need to put an effort, but not struggle. It is there. Only you have to reach there. You have to have that kind of intention to go from one place to another to get what you wanted, work for it, get whatever, earn it, and then you get it. So that part it is definitely, it will be there. But in the nature, the way it is designed by the creator, it is there. Resources are there for everyone. And it is in abundance. As I give an example of the air and the sunlight, only human being the fight, but the nature things, say, forget about trees, say the flowers. You will never see the two flowers are fighting each other for the same place or the same thing. What they do, you just bloom themselves, do its own job, give fragrance. All if somebody is appreciating, not appreciating, it doesn't matter. It does its job, and when it's timing over, it get dropped. Make some other flower comes somewhere else, and it's just all fine. So there is no competition, no struggling, no stress of getting into all those kind of things. So in the nature, it is all in abundance. It is there. You will not see that two mountains are fighting each other and two seas are fighting each other, and it's never like that. It is only in the human being. It is this kind of things are there. And yes, there is. You can mention about the animals. Animals only fight because of the food. So the food that is their resources in that sense is little limited, because the carnivorous animals, so they have to hunt and get the food, and they can fight to get the food. That is because by nature it is like that. They are developed by their natural instinct. So we don't consider it for that kind of purposes. They don't have option. We human, we have a lot of options, but we choose to fight and all those kind of things and get into all into our so-called human developed systems that get into that one. So anyway, so this is the natural principle, growth in life. It is so growth in life. I mention it because this is a fundamental understanding before we go to our today's topic, which is gap. What is this? The gap comes here then. So if you go into what I just explained, we have to fight because we are fighting for the same position or same location or same resources. That's why the fighting comes. But this is like this competition can go into cooperation. And if we find if there are two things that people have already taken, the gap is available. So if you go look for the gap, then that may be my rightful place. In the forest, when these trees are, the sprout, they come out. Yeah. So they don't go into one another and fight with each other because they find a gap. So there is a gap, and a new tree can come up. It can grow on its own. It can get its own sunlight, own resources from the ground, the water, all those things. Similar principle, we have to find out. We have to find out the gap in this, in our even in the practical life. We can then grow into that. And so many breakthrough happens only to finding the gap. Yeah. So no need, basically what I'm saying on principle, no need to fight for one thing. Yeah. It is the poverty consciousness idea that it is limited, that's why fighting. You look elsewhere, there may be plenty elsewhere that nobody is watching. You get into that, find that. These kind of gaps are, like it's also said, the necessity is the mother of invention. Yeah. All scientific inventions happen. Basically, there was a need. Of course, there will be need there. I'm not saying the need is not there, but solution is not to fight and get me first, or I wanted to get it myself. This is not the way. All scientific inventions happen, say electric bulb or telephone, computer, whatever it is. There was a need, there was a need, and that need in the society, in the humanity, that there is a need, and then scientists, they're exploring all those things, and finally they do a lot of tests and trials and all those things, and finally they came up with the solution, which is the invention, like a telephone or the electric bulb or motor car or whatever it is. So that is the way. It is not that, say motor car, and before that maybe there is people used to ride, say, horses. I'm saying the horses are limited, the fighting for those horses and all those things, and trying to more powerful people take more horses, and less powerful people don't get any horses. They have to walk and things like that. They cannot cover a lot distance. So solution comes somewhere else. No? In the motor car is there, you manufacture more or motor car or cycle or whatever it is, then you get that your whatever the conveyance you want, that will be available to you. So that is the gap. So there is a need. Say the horses are limited, but the transportation requirements of the human beings are high. So then this is the invention. It takes place, and then you get into that. So then you utilize that invention. So because that the demand and the supply availability, this gap is the cause of the invention. So that is why the gaps are significant. Here in this case, mostly the need and versus the availability, that gap is the potential for all the new inventions, new solutions, new way of doing things. That is the creative element comes into it. Then we can provide our creativity. By birth, we are creative being. So because we are created by the creator with their part in it. We are the part of the creator. So, and creator's only job is to create. So we are born with that kind of part into us. So our job is also to, when we create, we get connected to the creator. It is kind of divine channel or the access. So we have to use our brain, our intelligent talent creatively to find these things to get there. Yeah. So this is about that. And so this is about the breakthrough, that about the discovery and not discovery, invention. Discovery is one land not found, they found it, that is discovery. Invention is something completely new happening based on the need and the availability gap that fits into that invention. So that is the breakthrough. Yeah, that is possible, as I explained, using the creativity, understanding the gap and in the society or the things, whatever the needs are, and you provide that. So what about in the business scenario? So business scenario, that is very commonly known as something is called market survey. Before you start any business, you do market survey. Well, all the companies, they do. You have to see whether the business will be success or not. So they take all the parameters, all the things, and basically they said the demand and the supply. Yeah. So same thing, concept is same. So there is a need, the demand, and how much is the supply. So which is in shortfall in supply in that particular area, they provide that, supply that. That's why business grows. The people buy it, and that's how it goes. So what is called the gap then? Gap in the market. Demand and supply, it is understandable because that is why you are supplying. But gap in the market is not really like that. But it will only happen, that kind of thing, for the innovation point of view, that there is a need and it is not available. Then there is a gap. But what happens if there are plenty, lot of choices? Then in that case, absence will not be there. Something will be available. Yeah. So how to make your in the business case successful, or how we can make business successful? To do that research is called gap in the market. So how it is played? Let me give you one example. Suppose you wanted to you start with some concept. No? Suppose you wanted to go to an area and you got some kind of shop, commercial space. You bought it. You wanted to start some business, and you think that maybe one of your relative, your mama, chacha, somebody is into textile business, the cloth. Yeah. So you thought, okay, I will get some advice from my chacha and I will start some cloth business. When you go there, you find that whatever the shop you bought, maybe 2 blocks, two shops next, there is another shop which is running for maybe 5 years. So now if you start another, cloth shop, then what will happen if that area has say 50 people or maybe 500 people, but every month out of 500 only 50 people buy cloth. Say, I'm just giving some figure just for the analogy to understand what I'm going to say. So 50 people will buy cloth every month out of 500, 10%. So that 50 people earlier used to go to that one shop. Now you have given another. So it will be maximum what will happen, 50-50 means 25 will go there, 25 will come there. So in that case, what will happen is whatever total market potential of 50 per month, that will be divided. So each will get less profit, less business. So that is how, that things will work, because there is a competition between these two. And because of competition, they will again lower their costs, and they maybe fire some people or employ to reduce the cost. And in any way, both will suffer. Okay, end of the day. So finding gap in the market means if you buy that, say, buy or rent that commercial space and you do the survey, you see what are the things available there. You see there is a cloth shop next to, block 2 shops next, there is a cloth shop is already there. So that is not the gap. It is already supply is there. So if you have a complementary idea that you find that, but there is no tailoring shop there. So better to give my shop, I will start a tailoring business rather than a cloth business. So here what is happening is those 50 people, customer who will buy the cloth there, after 2 blocks, they will come here, 2 shops, they will come here and give you for the stitching of those cloths. So you are complementary. So both will get 50-50 customers. All customers are the potential customers there. So this way you're complementing. This is called finding the gap in the market. Means what is not there, not fighting with existing ones. Finding something which is creatively, which is not there, and it is complementing to something other businesses what is already available. I'm just simplifying it to make it understand the concept. Finding it. So we said, okay, cloth and stitching. What about other? Yes. Suppose there is already a doctor is, one clinic is there, medical clinic, and you start your commercial business, another clinic. Again, same will happen. The patients will be divided. Half patient will go there and half will come there. But instead of, if clinic is already there, so if you, instead of making another clinic, if you build a pharmacy there, then it will be complementing. Like whatever the doctors and clinics, and they will recommend, their pharmacy business will grow like that. Anyway, so I hope you understand what I'm saying. It is everywhere, it will be like that. So this market survey, it is there to find out the gap in the market. Means which will be complementing to the existing other things so that you can grow, both can grow. We come back to the natural principle, the both trees can grow into the same forest, same land. There is no contradiction. Only problem comes if it is in the same thing you are fighting, both will lose, or it will be halved or even less than that. Yeah? So this is the idea of the gap in the business, yeah, gap in the market or something like that. So let us now come to the spiritual understanding of the gap. Yeah. Let us go to the truth. I think practical, I hope it is all understood. Spiritual, let us go into how universe has been formed. Yeah. Universe has been formed. Whatever you are fighting for, that is a materialistic thing. Yeah. Material in the universe, it is difficult to fathom because we have not seen the whole universe as such. So let us come to the minuscule version of the universe, which is an atom, okay, a molecule. So what is an atom is having? The matter in this atom is maybe proton, neutron, and some electrons is moving around them. Yeah, subatomic particles. Those are occupying like 0.0001% of the space which is given to the atom. That means 99.99999% is a free space, gaps. Now, when we talk about the gap in the physical reality, we think gap is a small space, rest of the things are occupied. But in the nature, gap is the maximum. The space is maximum. Matter is very small. That is the truth. If you project that to the universe, the space is maximum. And that 0.00001% is the planets and other things. So basically, if you are concentrating on the matter, you will lose that 99%, more than 99% of it. If you only believe on whatever you can see, it's all about the energy, whatever you can see, then you depend on that, then what will happen is that you will depend upon the information of your senses only. So electromagnetic wave spectrum, VIBGYOR, is a very tiny part. We have read in the physics, or you can Google search and find out the electromagnetic spectrum. Very minuscule part we can see. Same as the sound. We can hear a very 20 to 20 kilohertz. But there is no other frequency before or after, definitely there. 20,000, then 200,000, 2 million, and 2 billion and so forth. It's infinite in that side. And again, 22.2, then 0.02, 0.002, and so and so. Again, this side also infinite. Smaller and smaller it can keep. Vibrations are the sound I'm saying now. Okay. So if you go into all this aspect, or even if you feel touch, how much area you can touch of that? Anyway, I told the matter which you can touch is 0.00001% of the whole universe. And then also touch is your physical ability to move around. So your sense of that will be very, very limited information you are getting. So using your 5 senses, you cannot fathom, even come anywhere near to the truth. Okay. It is impossible, because that quantity of information, even though you use the topmost computer in the world, its capacity, still also it will almost nothing in terms of the universal knowledge, universal thing. Yeah, it cannot process that kind of stuff. Yeah, because we are, as I mentioned, it is 0.00001%. So with that, so your sense are big liability, and whatever information you are processing, experiencing through these 5 senses will be a liability, will be extremely limited. So what you see, what you feel, and whatever things, those informations are extremely limited. Beyond that, a lot of vibration frequencies are available. A lot of things are happening there. We don't know. That does not mean that it's not happening. It is happening. Huh? This is the between our senses and which is beyond our senses. There is a gap, big gap. Physically, there is a gap. I have already proven because of the atom structure. That is a space. And also because of the vastness of the frequency ranges of anything of come sense, we can hear and see and all those kind of things. The ranges, if you see, the frequency bandwidth is so limited with respect to the whole spectrum that our input is very, very less. And then comes the processing, which is the brain capacity. That is also limited. Yeah. Brain is most powerful. In human body, still it cannot process everything. This brain thing, it has got very powerful, but if you only depend upon only the external input, it is limited because you are depending on senses. Yeah. So there is a gap between the truth and how much we can get. Big gap. And how to get into that gap, that is called the gap awareness. Yeah. So we are aware. If we are aware there is a gap, then we can work on it and find it out. Then what is the best thing can be done. Then let's see what mind has done on us based on the limited input. So we sometimes feeling frustrated, react to things because we are hearing something, seeing something, somebody told me something, I'm getting insulted, I'm getting ridiculed, or I'm deprived, and all those things. These are combination of the input you get from the external world into your mind. Yeah? But there is a domain. This is a 3-dimensional reality, but there is another domain. It's called 5-dimensional reality, unity consciousness. The consciousness is pure. It is not matter because it belongs to the 99%. It doesn't belong to the materialistic person, materialistic world. So that 99% have the consciousness. Yeah? So that has consciousness is pure. It's powerful, all the power. It's infinitely powerful. It has got infinite joy. Everything is infinite and fully pure. So what needs to be, there is a big gap between the consciousness spectrum and how much we can gather. Huge, huge gap. The bridge there is spirituality. So that we can attempt to at least to get some kind of understanding. We cannot fathom the vastness of that. Through the spirituality, that is, we can bridge the gap. And that's why the spirituality comes into the picture and the gap awareness comes into the picture, so that you can get into the gap, so that finally you landed up into there. Okay. So it is like, maybe there is a small trench between a vast area. Suppose you are in a room. Yeah. So let me give this example. You are in a room with a very limited understanding of the whole truth. So that means it is like you are inside a room with no window, all four walls and the roof. You are in the room. So that is your understanding. That is your understanding of the world. That's what you perceived. This is a metaphor, but it is true. So you are in a some say it is the frog in the well, or means limited understanding of the life. So what you need to do is you need to search into that, whatever light you may have inside the room. So, or if you don't have a light, that is also quite possible. Then you find out if the wall has any door. Then you get the door. There is one. Then you find out into the door, where is the lock, the door lock. Then try to find out where is the door lock. When you come there and then you find there is a hole, small hole, that is a keyhole. So this keyhole is the gap to open the door. When you open the door, so you have to get the key. The key is your spiritual techniques that you need to learn. Find the gap, because with key only is not good enough. You need to find the whole keyhole where this key fits in. So when you, through your experiences, trial and error, you figure out where the door is and where the lock is and where the hole is, use that key, the technique, to get into the hole and unlock the door. When the door is unlocked, you open to the vast possibilities, or the huge world is out there. Your limited understanding, you break through, and that is enlightenment. Okay. When you come into the truth of the outside world, rather than shackled into your own created world through five senses. And the key, that is the gap, small gap, that is the bridge between you and the world, or the truth, or the universe. And this is the technique. Once you learn, unlock it, that it will open up for you. Okay, that is how it plays out. So that is the gap awareness. So we have to, the gap bridge between the lower and higher dimensions. So this gap is, as I explained, that it is between the three-dimensional and fifth-dimensional, and bridge is the spirituality. So by the spiritual third-dimensional reality, the limited consciousness, you can go to the wider consciousness and get into that. And that is, the spirituality is the bridge, the gap. You find out that keyhole, that is the gap. And let me give you some more example to understand the power of the gap. The gaps are where the energy is. It's all about the vibrational thing. You and all the problems you have into your life, and complete healing, complete the truth, and complete joy. That gap is just the awareness, the gap awareness we are talking about here. Yeah. And you cannot go to that level because your minds are always chattering. It is trying to bind you into the limited room. That is called ego. This room is your ego. It doesn't allow you to go out, because the moment you go out, you know the truth, and there will be no relevance of that room and that binding and the rules and laws and fears and doubts what is being created inside the room. Yeah, to keep you subjugated. Yeah. So this space which is between purity and this limited, this gap, you need to bridge through this, that spirituality, as I mentioned. All the energy, all the vibrations are there into that. And that makes the difference in your life. So let me give some example to understand that. All the energy implementation happens during the gap. Energy accumulation happens in the activity. Let me make it simpler sounding. It looks a little complicated sounding. When you eat the activity, you don't get nutrition. When it is digested, the gap, the pause, then you get the nutrition. When you hear some sound, some music, when hearing, it will not create that effect of the satisfaction or enjoying the music. The pause that follow that music, there you internalize it. Then you get the effect. Same as a benefit of, say, water. While drinking, you will not get the benefit. When it is go through the blood circulation, it reaches that water into your cells, then you get the benefit of that water inside your body. So everything happens actually for you. The experience happens in the gap, not during the activity. So if you say it is like a 1 and 0 cycle, yeah, then in the 0 cycle, you get the benefit. The 1 cycle, first half of the cycle, you accumulate it, and the next you get it. That is true for everywhere. And that's why we say when you practice Kriya, after Kriya, you must meditate. Because you don't meditate, then this energy, what you get during the Kriya will not get absorbed. You will not get any benefit. There's no point into meditating if you just after Kriya you go for breakfast and go out for shopping. Yeah? No need. It will not have any effect. How much time it takes to absorb that energy is a mastery. Like I gave example of a music player, the maestro. All the maestros, like who are the expert into this, the music expert, very great musicians. Yeah, they are playing a music or singing or anything. Yeah, let's say music, some instrument they are playing. So that instrument is played, maybe some tune, some song is being played, some tune of a song. So when somebody else played, it will not appeal to you that much. Okay, nice to hear, but that's it. But there is no appeal. But when that maestro, he or she plays that, it creates some feeling of fulfillment and joy. It is not only listening, it's also generating some kind of feeling. So what is the difference between the previous player and this player, the maestro? They just have the mastery to give the gap between two notes they're playing. They know how much energy it will be absorbed, how much period it takes. It may be in microseconds. Who doesn't know that art? They're giving an random gaps. And the master, the maestro, they know exactly how much gap is needed so that next tune starts or next note starts. And that creates the effect. Because we are all vibrational beings. We respond to the vibration. So this gives a pleasurable vibration. What happens is this vibration bridges, this part you listen carefully, vibration bridges the gap between the brain and the heart. Means heart is more powerful, much powerful. The brain is 10%, heart is 90%. Feeling. Okay, not understanding. It's a brain job. Whatever the bad feeling is created, that takes you down spiral. Like you are thinking about, competition, thinking about what will happen if it go wrong, worry, tension, and all those things. Brain created, but heart felt bad with all those things. So your overall being, your direction will be downward. If it is too much, you go downward spiral. But on the other side, if you somehow you can stop your mind to give injecting all these negative things, then what will happen? You invoke the purity of the consciousness allowed to come in. How to stop the mind to just give all these negative things and memories and emotions? Because that is technique is meditation. Through meditation, if you can stop that, then it allow the showering of the consciousness through you. It is pure, it is infinite, it's lovable. And that showering will ultimately, you will feel elated, joyful. And this gap you have to overcome, like gap between mind oriented to consciousness oriented. What this feeling will do, okay, by the way, the first one feeling that you feeling threatened, or you are not happy because somebody told something bad and all those things, and their mind is cooking and all those things. So you are feeling bad, or let me go there some technical term here. You are feeling survival mode. Something has threatened, something has triggered outside world to trigger you go to survival mode. If you go into the survival mode, okay, forget about your heart feel bad and heart rate will change. Survival mode, heart changes differently, go very fast. And then many chemical things will happen into your body. Lot of things, toxin will be there. You will not be able to speak properly because you are fearful. And that is basically, you cannot move, you cannot see like that, or you put your energy into finding out what the threat is. It is a basic instinct. Originally in the caveman and all, when maybe they find some noise of a tiger, they need to be careful from where the threat is coming. They will alert, put the whole energy finding out where the threat is. Your body has got another mechanism to address the threat, and maybe you have to, run away from there. And so body is getting ready. You put a lot of glucose into the body so that you are ready to run. What happens is, in this mode, all your energy is sucked into the survival mode. There is no energy left to connect to the higher self and so on and so forth. Yeah. So in the other way around, if you stop this mind game and you ignore the threat, or you are insulated from the threat, that energy is available to go into connecting to your higher self. And that connection itself will go into from the survival mode to enjoying creative mode. Heart will be creative mode. They will get a signal, heart will get a signal, all the survival mode off, gone. Okay. Then you bring your heart ability, the creative mode, and creative mode again connects with your divinity. As I explained earlier, you are the part of the creator, and creator is the highest expression of you. And out of that also, the joyful, the enjoyment, the joy of creating, all those things, the vibration level will go high when you are in an attitude of gratitude. Then your pure love will ooze out of you. And that connection, that creativity, that what will happen? That changes all your body systems, because you bridge the gap. You get the connection. You stop your mind, thought, that connection, it changes in the physical level also. Even miraculous healing happens if you go to that mode. If your heart is fully grateful, fully, loving, and this power can heal somebody, even the cancer and other, non-curable disease, so that the miraculous healing can happen. How? You are invoking the power of purity. There is no deficiency there. There is no disease there. There is no lack there. There is no threat there. You have to bring that into that, and that will transform your life. Yeah, you have to just tune in and stop your mind and tune in, so that you get from the survival mode to creative mode. And the creative mode is actually aligned, and that makes the transformation. This is called that is called you are in the infinite gap. That is the last point into our discussion, the apex spiritual state of being infinite gap. So what I just explained, it is that no question of the gap, the door is open. In fact, all walls of that thing will be broken off. You are open into the sky, open into the world. There is no world the wall there. This is all illusion of those walls. Those are Maya. Those are illusions. So you just came out of that. You grown out of that. So you become in the infinite gap and exposed to the fully connected with the consciousness and the purity. Not only your physical, mental, emotional, everything will be healed like this. But you have to do it. It cannot be imported. Because your childhood belief system may not allow you to go, ego will not allow you to go. So you have to bridge that gap to go to the other side where there is infinite. So the lower self has to die and then that only open up. That's why it is called by death you become immortal. So lower has to die. So the journey you have to take. This is the gap you have to give so that you will be the infinite gap all the time. You are in the infinite source of the divinity. And that is available to you. And that is your true power. That is truly you. Okay. And that is how you discover yourself. Yeah. So your true self. So with this, I'll conclude this learning session. So we have some time here. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. Yes, Roy.
Rasdeep, I just wanted to understand a little better where you are saying this, this fear grips you are fearing that a tiger will attack you. So how you come out of it and you are free and you're concentrating more on the gap. That part I slipped.
Oh, okay. No, I'm just giving just an example. Suppose there is a threat. All your energy goes there. That is our natural instinct.
Yes.
Because I want to look for the tiger from where it will attack me. Then I make my body ready to run or climb a tree or do something. Yes, that's what we are going to do. So in the process, all my energy will be spent in survival.
Yes.
And in the survival, your creative part of your heart will be like go into different mode, survival mode. So your creative faculty and all those things will not open up. What is happening is in our day-to-day life, it is stressful and all those things. Always we are in the survival mode. So that's why that faculty is not opening up. What I'm trying to say is you have to get out of that mode. You keep yourself safe first. I'm not saying you get eaten up by the tiger. I'm not saying that. But you don't repeat it. Once you get out of the tiger, climb a tree or whatever, you change the mode. You say, I'm safe, I'm grateful, thank you, I'm saved.
Right.
Then you don't rerun. Suffering comes where you rerun your memory again and again and again of the threat.
Right.
Once you come out, don't rerun. Just stop it and then try to connect. It has got an ability to heal you completely. Without any external help, you have all the power. Only need the connection. To have the connection, your heart has to go into survival mode to creative mode.
Right. Okay.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. That creative environment with the attitude of gratitude will invoke that energy to heal you.
Right.
Completely. That's what I was mentioning. Okay.
Right. Got it. Thank you. And your explanation of the gap in the business world is fantastic. This is how it is explained in any top class MBA course.
Business management school. Yes.
Business management course.
Yes.
I have gone through the courses also, and I have spent my life in business development, sales, and marketing. So that explanation is fantastic. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Okay. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any other question?
Guruji,
Ganesh, morning.
Guruji, it is not a question, maybe a clarity I'm asking. Okay. So in the family world, so we are when we do this, so we always mention about live in live moment, right? Okay. So
live in the present moment. Yes.
Present moment. Okay.
Yeah.
So what, as a family, we gone through different situation, work, family, address issues, goes, comes. So this will take our energy, or we spend our energy in different part of the place, a part of a requirement where we are. So the finally, what my understanding, just I'm asking, so you correct me if I'm wrong, when you start practicing live in a live moment, the one can establish this connection and one can attain to reach the gap and go through the gap. This is what my understanding is. My understanding is clear.
Okay, so there are 2-3 aspects here. Let me clarify it. If you are saying that you have to do your family duty or not, yes. Okay. You have to, if you are asking that at the same time, can I do my family duty and also get connection with the, present moment awareness? Can I be there? The answer is also again, yes. Okay. It is not either or. And if your question is aimed at that, okay, there are a lot of responsibilities I have, all the families are not spiritual. So how can I only be spiritual? That is a completely different topic. Okay.
Yeah.
So what I mean to say, it is all possible. My advice is do your duty and rest you leave it to the divine. If you follow this principle, this principle and another principle like my teaching is, any option comes where it is your duty comes and then your peace of mind comes. Okay. Decision, not duty. One decision, right thing to do, and another your peace of mind. Always you choose your peace of mind. If you follow these 2 principles, then everything, no matter what is the situation in the family life, professional life, etc., anywhere, you will be fine. And of course, overall, to avoid karma, no harm to anybody or anyone or anything. No harm.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Then no karma will be bind either. Yeah? In the name of duty, don't harm anyone. That's what I'm saying.
True. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Okay. God bless you. Okay, we have time for, I think, one more question, if anyone. All right, so if there is no further questions, so we'll conclude our session with our Shanti part, and we'll conclude our session for today. Okay. Sarvesham swastirvavatu. Sarvesham shantirvavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhino. Sarve Santu Niramaya. Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu. Ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhave. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Mangalam. That completes our session today.
Thank you, Rasdipta.
Thank you, Guruji, for this special session. Thank you.
Thank you, Guruji. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Guruji. Pranam.
Thank you, Guruji.